Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're gonna have a little fun with the Porsche Cayenne. Now, I had really hoped to take this to the dealership to have an oil change done, and I called to set up my appointment, and they let me know that it would be over $400 after taxes, fees, and oil disposal, and all of that good stuff. So I said, well, I do everything else. I might as well learn how to do an oil change on the Cayenne and find out if $400 for this oil change is worth it or not. Stay tuned. The very first thing that we want to do is make sure that we've got everything that's needed to do this oil change, and that's from the oil to the filter. And that's right, you're going to need an OBD2 scanner that's for a Porsche to reset the service indicator. This part I'm not happy with. Now remember, an oil change costs $400. This is already $100 of it, so that's taken care of. 2 jugs of this oil, which is kind of special. Now it's 5W30, but it's C30 oil, which means that it can last for like 25,000 miles or 2 years. Now with these cars, it's I think 15,000 miles or 1 year, but that doesn't matter. You do want to make sure that you put in the spec that is for your car. You can go with Mobil 1. These were a little bit cheaper. I could not find anything in my area that met the specs for these, so I had to order all of this stuff offline. I will make this very easy and link everything in the description so that you will be able to order everything that you need for your oil change. You're also going to need a 36mm socket to remove the oil filter housing. This comes in handy. It is a different style oil filter on these. You can tell that it's got little nubs on the end here and a little spout thing. It's got a seal on there, but we do need to make sure that we've got the right oil filter, the right oil, the right software. So everything here you're looking at somewhere around, I don't know, $250. All right, now that we've got everything ready, we can go ahead and get this car up in the air. Remember to pop the hood and remove the oil fill cap so that all the oil can drain out easily. Otherwise, you're gonna have to lift it up, drop it down, lift it up again. So let's go ahead and lift this bad boy up. One of the best parts about working on newer and modern vehicles is that you get to take off a whole underside skid plate, and all of these are 10mm. So let's just go ahead and start taking these out. Don't lose them. So the good part is, after a quick visual inspection, everything looks good. Nothing seems to be leaking or anything crazy. So this is a 18mm bolt head, and we'll use an 18mm socket to get that off, so that shouldn't be hard. And then all the way up here, I don't know if you guys can see this, this is the oil fill housing, and that is where we use that really big 36mm socket. So this big socket is going to go all the way up here and on like so, I think. There we go. And then I'll be able to get that off. All right. First things first, let's go ahead and get the oil out of here. Now this holds about 7, it probably holds more than 7 quarts, but we're gonna figure that coming out of this system is about 7 quarts. So that's about what we're gonna put in. We might start with 6.5 and then go up to 7. Of course, my oil's warm too, because I had to drive it today. How far do we think this is going to go out? Good God, this is the longest fill bolt. Oh, that was a mess. Okay. All right, guys, now that we have the oil drained out of the main pan, I just put the bolt back in just to keep it out of the way and everything. We've got to undo this, and this is going to drip. Now, there is a drain in the very center, which probably would be the smarter way to do this, to let it all just drain down. And I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just gonna take the whole housing off and see if we can get it all out in one shot. I'm not saying that this is the smartest plan. I'm just saying this is my plan. All right, I think I'm gonna take this front dip plate off just to make it a little easier because this is kind of in the way. And while we're down here, we might as well try not to break anything. And that's the last thing I want. All right, how hard is this? Is it just some more? Yep, just some more. Well, that does give you a little bit more access down here. So hopefully now I'll be able to get this off. Oh, there we go. You actually have to have strength. This is not for the faint of heart. I'm gonna get soaked here, I have a feeling. Who knows? We'll see. All right, let's just let this spew all over the place. That was a terrible idea. Terrible. I don't know if I've mentioned, but that was a terrible idea. All right. Well, the oil's out. Some of the goal should be to not get oil on the camera, right? That should be some of the goal. Not all of the goal, just some of it. I probably have oil on me. Yeah. Okay. What the floor looks like. Yep. Let's go ahead and clean some of this up so I'm not tracking it around. All right, guys, on this housing, it's very unique how this has to go and do. And you can see that that is where I should have opened the drain so that all the oil could have come out. I do need to replace the seal that is on here, and then I need to put this in. It is a little tricky how to put this in, so let me show you what we're gonna do. First of all, we've got oil dripping, but that's because it's coming down and I'm too lazy to wait. So you first put the housing up there and kind of get that out of the way. And then you can put the filter up in here. And once you get the filter and the housing up there, you can then wrestle with it a little bit until you find where it'll snap together. Once it snaps together, you can put it in the actual housing. All right, with that said, to get it out, you do the same thing. So you have to pull the dirty housing and the dirty filter apart to get it through there. And then to put it together, you have to do like I do. I was not a fan of this. I still am not a fan of this. The issue that I have is I'm not allowed to put any oil in there. And I would like to have it already pre-filled with oil. Plus, this is just a bad design. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you do that? All right, guys, so this has been messy. I'm gonna go ahead and button up everything down here. I've already put the drain plug in. We've got the filter and the filter housing already tightened down. And now I'm just gonna put all the body panels back on. Then we can fill it up with oil and do the reset and check to see how much and how to do all the other stuff that's involved with this $400 oil change. Let's get to that. Okay guys, I'm not gonna bore you with this part too much, but we're gonna put about 7 quarts, maybe start out with 6.5, start the engine, and then I'll show you how to check so you can see how much oil is in there because there is no dipstick. This car has been fighting me a little bit, not really on difficulty, just little things along the way. One thing that they did well though, is you can see I've got my jack post that I use for my car jack and it's holding the hood up, so at least I don't have to worry about these. I am going to add the oil in now, so I think that it's a good time for me just to do that and not make you watch, unless you want to. No, I didn't think so. All right, I'm gonna put oil in. All right, guys, I have put 6.5 quarts of oil in there, so I wanna go ahead and start the engine to let all the oil circulate, and you can see why I'm doing mine. Make sure that we've got oil pressure and we've got good oil pressure. That means that it is flowing through. We can get rid of all this. And vehicle is where we want to be, but we've got to turn the car off. All right. Now we can put the key back in. Don't press the brake and just turn to on. And let's go to vehicle. We select that. We go to oil level. Why is it not available? All right, guys, we're going to try this one more time. So first, you have to make sure that your hood is shut, that the car is to temperature. So you have to shut the hood, take it for a drive. Then you can put the key in, turn it to accessory, where I still have not reset my thing yet. And we go right here to vehicle. We go down to oil level, and let's see. Yep, I'm right in the middle. That's exactly where I want to be. And that took 6.75 quarts of oil. So I am good. Now we can reset it. We need to turn the car back to accessory mode, so no foot on the brake, turn the key. We now can go to service. Oil reset. Porsche. Oh, well, there's only one version. Let's do a smart scan. See how that works. Ignition is on. Communicating. It's a Cayenne, so we're just going to go with the first one. Turn ignition off. Oil service. Turn ignition on. Got to enter the current date, and then we can hit F2 to finish. Says it's communicating. Application complete. F2 OK. Let's go back up here. Go into vehicle. Info. Service intervals. So that service is still there, that service is still there, and that one has been reset. Perfect. Well, guys, that's all there is to do an oil change on the Cayenne. I don't think that this is the easiest oil change to do. It's not the most difficult, it's time consuming and a little fiddly just because of how things do it. It stinks that you have to do the service reset with a scan tool, and I do not like that it has no oil dipstick. There's a lot of little variances in this car. You do this oil change once a year, roughly. You could see from the oil reset that you don't have to do this as often as a traditional car. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if these engines will last the test of time. Mine's at 100,000 miles, so it's obviously been doing well enough. For $400, if you're somebody like myself that has another Porsche that can use the scan tool on multiples, yeah, it pays for itself, and it's cost me roughly $100 to do an oil change. So it's a big difference for me. For somebody that just has a Cayenne that wants to do it themselves, I'd almost tell you, just take it to the dealership, pay the $400 every year. You'll have peace of mind. Everything's done for you. You don't have to get covered in oil or lift your car up or do any of that work. So in that case, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I like doing my own maintenance. I enjoy these videos that I get to produce for you guys. Would I do this myself if it was my only car? Absolutely not. No. Am I going to keep doing these oil changes myself? Yes, because I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, that's pretty much why. All right, guys, hopefully you like this video. Like, subscribe, share. We're almost at 20,000. I'd really like to get the channel going again. If there's anything you want to see, please leave it in the comments below and we'll get back to you. All right, guys, have a good one.